All right. Well, why don't you start us off, Tad, for Giants at Jets, the Battle of New York. This is probably the biggest game of the week, not just because it's the Battle of New York, but because there's just so much at stake for both teams here, playoff picture-wise.
Yeah, it has to be the game of the week. The Jets and the Giants, we mentioned losing last week. We got both teams in New York playing in the same stadium. I mean, this is the one to watch. I think this game will get monster ratings, not what the Tebow Brady Bowl got, which was out of the roof. But this, as far as the early games, absolutely, this is the game to watch. Both teams fight for the playoff lives. Of course, the Jets are in the driver's seat for that AFC playoff wild card seed. They're one game ahead of all the teams they're going against, so they really need that. Giants need to win out to really make the playoffs. So I'm going to go with the Jets. I'm going to go with the Jets here, obviously, because, I'm a fan, and I need the Giants to lose. And they're both so even in this sense. Mark Sanchez going against a pretty depleted secondary for the Giants. Their secondary's been the thing that's really hurt them all year. So, I'm going to go with the Jets for that reason. The Giants and Eli Manning, this game really could go either way. But I like that the Jets have the corners that could really neutralize Eli Manning. I think they could stop the run a little better. And I think Marcus Sanchez could actually have a good game against these corners.
What do you think, A-Ross?
I think something's got to give with this game. You look at Mark Sanchez, the way he's been the last 2 weeks, he's looking like an average quarterback when he's under pressure. And, of course, you have the Giants have one of the best pass rushes in football. You got the Giants have the third best passing attack in football. And, of course, you have the Jets with probably the best corners in the league. And then you've got the Giants have the worst running offense in football. And you got the Jets who are about the middle of the pack towards the bottom half in defending the run. So the way it plays out, something's got to give between these two teams. And they've both been playing somewhat mediocre recently. Of course, you have the Giants just played terrible against Washington. I was there in the newsroom following that for Fox and seeing, of course, Hakeem Nicks drop that easy touchdown pass. And you see Eli look like the kid who lost his dog that run away every time he threw an interception.
Now, so, in fairness to Eli, he looks like that most of the time.
That's very true. So that was a game the Giants had to have. And, of course, the Jets got blown out by Philadelphia. They looked like they didn't even show up to that game. Santonio Holmes been an absolute embarrassment of himself. Of course, causing that drop pass, the interception, and fumbling that ball that led to a touchdown. And then that stupid little touchdown dance he did. I mean, he didn't do himself any favors in this one. It's a home team for both for both teams. They both have not played their best. But I think when you stack them up together, I like the Giants in this game. I think with Bradshaw back and Jacobs, I think they're going to be able to establish the run early and often against this Jets front. And I don't think they're going to be able to stop it. And I just don't see the Jets really putting up the points against this team. As good as their defense has been, I think the Giants can beat you in more ways than just their pass. And I think Mark Sanchez is just a very average quarterback under pressure.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Giants too in this one. Maybe I think it's a flip the coin kind of game, and based on that, I'm just gonna take the team. I'm a fan. Okay. So here's the thing. I think
you just crushed the playoff hopes for the Philadelphia Eagles, right?
I'm happy to crush whatever I need to on the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. But here are my keys to look for in this game, okay? We need to look at the Jets' offensive line, who played terribly last weekend. Sanchez got sacked a bunch of times. They were awful. I expect Justin Tuck to play. Jason Pierre-Paul is a beast, obviously. And if they can get through that offensive line just as well as the Eagles, who are an inferior defensive line, were able to last weekend, then I don't think it's going to be... I think that could be the game right there if they're able to get to them. But what I'm kind of interested in is what A-Roz is interested in. I mean, that's a really good point because the thing is, Hakeem Nicks is going to be on Revis Island the whole time. And over the past 5 games, especially, we've seen Eli look at Nix more. I mean, obviously, Nix is the best receiver on that team, but Eli was spreading the ball more in the middle of the season, and he started to look for Nix a lot more lately. But Nix is going to be on Revis Island, so I expect a above-average game from Victor Cruz and Mario Manningham here. And so those are my keys to look for. I'm not really saying the Giants are going to win these battles necessarily, but we're going to look at the Jets' offensive line, and we're going to look at the Giants' secondary receiving core and sort of see how that pans out. I think that those are the keys. I'm going to take the Giants.